Saw the board chair earlier today at an event that I happen to be emceeing. And there are always issues that seem to pop up with JCPS making news. Well, a group called the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, acronym WILL, it's a law firm and think tank based in Wisconsin that handles cases around America. Apparently, WILL has filed a federal complaint against JCPS, the Jefferson County Public School District here in Louisville. I want to bring in the attorney, Lauren Groyle. Hi, Lauren. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me, Terry.
You're an associate counsel on this particular case. Please explain what's going on.
Yes. So we have filed a Title VI complaint against JCPS for unlawfully discriminating on the basis of race. So Title VI is part of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and it provides a clear and powerful mandate that no person in the United States shall, on the grounds of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. So basically, schools or schools that receive federal financial assistance cannot discriminate on the basis of race.
Right.
We were contacted by a concerned mother whose child isn't of the preferred race of the school district, who is concerned because of the racial equity funding that's being allocated at the school district. Over $35 million a year in racial equity funding is being allocated at the school district, and they're using that money to give certain students additional funding, per pupil funding, on the basis of the color of their skin, which is inherently illegal and why we decided to file this.
And how do we know that this is correct? This mother is correct in this. I'm assuming this mother is white. Is this what we're talking about, a white child who feels like that assets are being used for other races?
Well, it's not just about being a certain race and other races getting funding. You can't base any type of resources on the color of somebody's skin.
Right.
If anything, it's based on need, right? But we know all of this information in two ways. First, the district is very proud of this program, it seems. I'm not sure if they're aware that it's illegal, but a lot of this information is online. In fact, they have a racial equity funding dashboard where a lot of this information is available. But we were also contacted by a whistleblower who used to be a teacher in the district, and she has access to a lot of the tools that were given to teachers about what should be included in curriculum and school policy. And some of the things in there are just, it's up to see how much they're basing on race in this district, and how much it's clear that, race is a factor in who's getting certain resources, funding, and how they're choosing what's being taught in school.
Okay, so I'm sorry, there was a little bit of breakup on the feed there. So what happens next with you filed a federal complaint? What are you asking a circuit court to do? Lauren, we've lost your voice. Okay, we'll just try to reconnect with her in a minute or two. See what the line is still.
Yeah, we're active. Still open. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, John. Sorry
now she's dropped.
Okay, Lauren, she'll redial us here in a second. So let me repeat this. This law firm in Wisconsin has filed a federal complaint against Jefferson County Public School District in Louisville, exposing what they say is a discriminatory race-based funding scheme. The complaint is filed on behalf of a district family alleging JCPS prioritized students for funding based solely on race since at least the year 2018, 7 years ago. And that was the associate counsel, Lauren Groyle. Lauren, you're back. We lost the feed there for a while. So what's next?
Yes,
go right ahead.
Yeah. I'm so sorry about that. Yes. So we're actually filing this complaint with the federal government
Okay.
as opposed to in court. So we're taking this directly to the Trump administration and asking them to open an investigation into whether or not the school district has violated this federal law prohibiting them from basing funding and other things on race.
Okay, and then what's the next move? What timetable are you expecting?
Well, we've reached out to some of our friends at the Ed Department. We're hopeful that they'll open up an investigation sooner rather than later, although we are aware also that there have been lots of complaints like this brought up all across the country of concerned parents who are suffering because these schools are violating federal law. So there isn't an exact timetable here, but we're hoping it's sooner rather than later. If the school does not agree to get rid of this equity funding and this unconstitutional scheme that they're using, then they risk losing their federal funding altogether.
Of course. Are you seeing or sensing that there could be a class action collective sort of complaint filed, or this individual one is going to be coupled with others?
That's a great question. I think that as of right now, it's on more of a case-by-case basis. But I think it's important, you're hitting on an important point, that this is coming up over and over again across the country, and it's something Will is actively working to dismantle. We have our Equality Under the Law project that goes after some of these programs. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that every student, regardless of the color of their skin, is being treated equally and fairly under the law at their public school district.
All right, Lauren, keep us posted if there's whatever the next move is or any reply that you receive, all right?
I will. Thank you so much, Terry.
You are welcome. That is Lauren Groyle. She is with a group in Wisconsin, a law firm called Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, filing a federal complaint against Jefferson County Public Schools. We'll let you know when the next chapter unfolds.